Hi, my name is Nick, aka the Coffee Detective, and today we are going to look at this interesting little looking device. It's from Air Latte, and it's the Cafe Porcellana stovetop espresso maker. When I first got this, I just kind of fell in love with the aesthetics of it. I mean, just how it looks on the counter, how it looks on the table. Before I get into explaining that, let me just give you the basics of how this kind of brewer works. So here we have a typical example of a stovetop mocha espresso maker, made famous originally by Bialetti. And the way it works is there's a bottom chamber, a top chamber. In the bottom chamber, you put water up to the little safety valve mark there, but not higher. Then you've got this little portafilter thing here, and you're going to fill that with loose, finely ground coffee, espresso grind coffee, close to the top. You don't tamp it, you just leave it loose. Then at the bottom of the upper chamber, we've got this permanent metal filter here and a seal. So now, once we've got the water and the coffee on the base, we screw the top on, put it on the heat, not too high, you want this to happen slowly. And as the pressure builds up, the water is forced up the spout through the loose coffee, comes up this central stem in the top chamber and bubbles out of these two little holes near the top of the stem there. So when this is on the stove and you're listening to it, it'll get to the kind of gurgle stage, which means that it's just about done. You take it off the heat and you're ready to serve yourself some little cups of espresso. So this, the Cafe Porcellana, works in the same way, but it's kind of different because the upper chamber is totally separate, totally different material. It's a nice little white porcelain coffee pot. But the basic design of how this thing makes coffee is the same. I've got the lower chamber, I'm going to fill with water, I've got the safety valve, I've got the little portafilter thing here. Incidentally, it says in the instructions, there's a kind of line halfway up here. It says in the instructions to fill up with coffee up to the line. I've tried that. I actually fill it a little higher than that. I found when I followed the instructions and filled it just to the line that it was a little weak. So, well, certainly for me, try it, see what you think. So, as with this, there's this part here, there's the permanent metal filter, a little seal. But of course, instead of that central stem that we had on this one, this has this outside pipe here. So I now I place my pot on top with the spout, getting to the spout there. I put this on the stove, same thing, not too fast, not too hot. Same thing, I wait for the gurgle for it to finish brewing, and I'm done. And I can just take this straight off, put it on the table, I can pour myself my espresso, serve it, and I'm done. So really, they both work in exactly the same way. It's just a totally different take in terms of design and how it's made to work. I actually, like I say, I'm very taken with the appearance, the aesthetic of this. If I have a complaint, it's a practical one. And that is with the traditional design here, when I'm done and I want to take it off the heat, I just take the whole thing off the heat, off the stovetop, all right? And then I pour, and then I put this down on a surface where it's obviously the hot base is not going to do harm. With this one, I take and it just caught me by surprise the first time I tried this, is I take this off, I'm ready to serve. I now want to take this off the heat. I don't want this sitting on the heat because there's no water left in the bottom. So I want to take this off the plate, off the burner, but I don't want to do that because it's hot. So what I do is I hold this little round, this is like a piece of, it's plastic, has a slightly, no, it's not really rubbery, it's just a kind of black plastic sleeve, but I use that to lift it. And it's kind of, as a handle, it's kind of clumsy. You know, it's not as convenient as that. So that's my only complaint with the Porcellana. And I'm actually going to forgive it that because I just love the the unusual look and the aesthetic of it. I mean, I like and I've always liked the kind of classic Bialetti lines on that original design of the stovetop mocha brewer. But this is something different, something interesting. Same quality of coffee, makes it the same way, just a totally different aesthetic, and I kind of like it. Thank you.